I'm Mo,
And I'm Kadejah.
and we've been attending Valley Baptist for a little over a year and a half, and we've been married for over 10 years.
We had recently bought a home at the beginning or the end of 2022, and a month after we moved in, our house caught on fire. When our house caught on fire, that led to us meeting some of our neighbors that lived across the street, and we built a relationship, a bond with them, and they eventually invited us to the Journey group. Influencers has played a major part in our marriage, and it actually helped lead us to Valley. We started attending a Journey group here on Wednesday nights, and shortly after joining the Journey group, dealing with some of the trials in our marriage, I think for the first time in 8 years, it looked like honesty and freedom in our marriage.
And in the beginning of our relationship, we were just kind of going about things the way that we saw fit, and we had no Christ in our relationship, which led to no Christ in our marriage. And I just remember that one day I just started growing cold with my wife, and I couldn't understand why. There was just this wall that was put up in front of me, and I just didn't know how to love her. And I couldn't seek any guidance to help me out with this situation. And it just grew colder and colder, and it led me to even more sin. And Journey actually led to me confessing some things that I was trying to hide from my wife. And it made it almost impossible with going through what it meant to abide in Christ and what it meant to really have a relationship with Christ. It showed me that I had to confess myself and be true.
Being married for 8 years, we spent the majority of that time walking on eggshells, not being transparent with each other, not being honest with each other. And so joining the Journey and really discussing what it is to abide with the Lord, because one of the things that we learned is that you can't fully abide with the Lord and not abide with your spouse. If you're not abiding with your spouse, chances are you aren't abiding with the Lord either.
Going through the Journey, I never seen so many men who were, followers of Christ. For the longest time, I never knew that God existed outside of church. I always thought that God was confined in those four walls and that you only show up on Sundays. And they showed me how to live it out with God every day, which led to a change in our marriage and us actually serving Christ together, seriously.
I think oftentimes when we are offended, we think no one is going to understand, and that's what helps us to hold on to that offense. We think we're the only ones. You can't tell me to forgive him. You can't tell me to let this go because you don't know what I've been through. But when you encounter someone who has been through what you've been through, they've walked through what you've walked through, and sometimes the situation is, the offense is greater than yours. It helps you to see what God has done in their life, and then it gives you hope that the Lord can do the same in yours. And the Lord has certainly surrounded us with people that have walked in our shoes, and the Lord has restored their marriage, and it truly gave us hope that the Lord would restore our marriage, and He has.